Eclipse Cinemas.
Well, it's great. It's Thursday again, and joining us on the line and in focus on the Zoom today and live from Bundoran is Collie, our man at the movies. And what's been happening in all the Eclipse Cinemas? Very busy, I'd say.
It is mental at the moment. So we discussed, Bond has done great, and it is great to see so many people out. I know, Shamey, you liked one of our photos of an older gentleman who dressed up especially for Bond. He told me a couple of weeks ago, I met him in a great cafe called the Bar in Kinloch, and he said he was going to do it. And you go, so sometimes people just have style. After all these years, that's the cinema ringing me. Sorry about that. After all these years, the phone goes. Okay, but he looks great. And it's been great that so many people have come out and seen Bond and so on. But you know what's even more exciting? That we've a load of new releases this week. And they were all avoiding Bond because it was going to be such a juggernaut. It took up so many screens, but now they have a chance. Now, having said that, I know if my boss is listening, he'll be going, now, surely, Collie, you're going to start with the big Hollywood movies, the ones that will bring in all the punters and sell all the popcorn. Absolutely not. We're going to start with the Irish movie, which is spoiler alert, absolutely brilliant. And I've been excited about 4 weeks. But do you know what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. These things need the plug and maybe not others. So we've got Arracht. Now, you were asking me off air. Arracht means monster, and it is a story set in the time of famine. And I think we've got a bit of a clip, and then we'll explain a bit about it afterwards.
Oh, Monjarchy. And then Mac Woodeffer. Betsy Kelly.
Deserter.
Nur mal Skelin voetsen. Maar wie doet zo koulig? Good hand and full lad.
A lot of your tenants have been struggling, sir. There's already been some cases of starvation.
Nonsense. Crops have failed before and mortality levels have been perfectly acceptable.
That's all idea. I'm not to learn the runners was it my house.
They will not be singing songs about Patsy.
Good, I done that. You're
gonna tell me what you did?
You shouldn't know with the nacht to come.
Munt u die om lekker Venom?
Kif hard is zeggen?
You're harless or something. Shall I know sure?
It tells the story where we're going here with this.
Yeah, that's quite chilling phrase. Mortality levels are acceptable. Actually, it occurred to me while watching this movie this afternoon, with lines like that, we've heard again from English people, but in this case, talking about the, COVID in their own life. But let's not get too political, although it's hard not to after this movie. Now, this is a movie set in the famine, and while there's things about the famine in it, it's not just a famine story. So if people are thinking, I've heard this story before, or didn't watch Black 47, no, it's a story set in the time of famine. And as it opens up, we meet our hero, Coleman Sharkey, who's brilliantly played by Donald Healy. And he's a fisherman who makes poaching, but as he says himself, he doesn't drink it. His family were always good at making poaching, not good at drinking it. And he's the guy who keeps his nose clean. He's the guy who has a relationship with the landlord and can argue with people. But we hear rumors of a blight that is starting to affect the crops. And of course, we know what's coming, and they don't. I don't want to say so much, but something, when they go to negotiate the rates, something goes badly wrong, and Coleman finds himself out on the run. This is absolutely brilliant. It is, it's charming and it's funny at the start, but you have this sense of foreboding. And Connemara always looks good, let's be honest, but it's in a very honest way. It actually reminds me of where my father's from, up North Donegal as well. It's that beauty and bleakness together that I always think every time I travel to the Rosses or Connemara, you go, what an amazing country we lived in, but how hard it must have been to live off the land in this. And it brings up, what many people not from Ireland always wonder about the famine. Go, but you're a coastal island. Why didn't people fish? And it explains, for example, all the fishermen, they thought the potato crop was only going to fail that 1 year. So to pay their rent, they sold their boats. And then, of course, when the potato crop fails the next time, they've nothing. There's a great phrase that's shown in the trailer. It says, one of the women says, why did this happen to us? And he says, it didn't happen to us. It was done to us. It is absolutely brilliant. It's challenging. It's sad. It's uplifting. There's redemption in it. You can tell. Look, I am absolutely 100% the target audience for this movie. People will have heard and go, Irish. And I know, you don't have a whole load of Irish yourself. I have a little bit. I am not fluent, Neelam Leafa, but I have enough Irish that I notice a few of the changes. For example, in Irish, they say, I believe he likes blood. And in English, the subtitles say he likes killing. So I noticed those little differences, but everything in Irish is subtitled. And so many of us watched Call My Agent. We're watching Squid Games in Korea and so on. And great it is too. Why wouldn't we watch our own? This is a brilliant movie. This went for the Oscars and everything. It's about to be remade by a big American company who made The Hurt Locker. Why would we go and see that one when we wouldn't go and see this one of our own? It's a great time for Irish movie. We Deadly Cuts last week, a very funny movie. We've got Redemption and Rogue was missed on Monday. It's a golden time. Go and see it. It's absolutely brilliant. You will not be disappointed. I have to hurry on because I know we've so many other movies.
We've so many movies. You're trying to scare the living daylights out of the public here. What's up next?
Let's do Ron. Let's do Ron Goes Wrong. This will scare.
That's good.
This will scare nobody. I also saw this one. I had two very early morning showings. One was Arracht, which is it was brilliant, but it was heavy going for the morning. This is just gorgeous, Jamie. If people remember Short Circuit, it has a very similar theme to this. It's a robot. Everyone has their own robot. It's it's all about Instagram. It's all about likes and making friends. And it's kind of like a phone come to life. And poor old Barney has his, and it starts to go wrong. And it starts to go wrong. He can't understand why it won't work properly. And it's actually interesting talking to him instead of getting them on the internet and liking it. Look, kids will love this. Parents will love this. We've so much to go through. I'll probably come back to this next week. I laughed. I cried. It's just gorgeous. E.T. meets Short Circuit. All the family movies out this weekend, I think it's by far the best. Halloween Kills. Let's go to Halloween Kills. So, because we know what Halloween is, and one of the great things about the last Halloween was there was a bit of a reboot for the Me Too era where they went, it can't be just Jamie Lee Curtis running around while a man follows her anymore. She is not going to take it anymore. She's getting revenge. It was a huge, big hit. There's a big horror audience always in Eclipse Bundoran, and it's bound to be a big Halloween hit. It's called Halloween Kills, after all. Let's talk about Venom, the one I'm sure my boss wanted me to talk about in the first place.
All right, okay, it's called Halloween.
Venom was a big hit about 3 years ago. It was a bit of an odd movie. I actually went back and listened to our review on Spotify about it. It was very funny in parts and quite dark in parts. Made buckets of money. This one's going to make buckets of money too, and almost certainly will link it with Spider-Man. It's big Marvel superhero with a bit darker. Great fun.
Right, we have time to talk about The Exorcist, which is probably one of the greatest films of its genre. Right.
Absolutely. 1973. We reckon it's never been shown in Bundoran because it was banned for so many years, and then the cinema wasn't there. So it's coming on Wednesday, and we're showing it again the weekend because we've already had such good sales. I can't quote any of the the power of Christ compels you to go and see this movie. It's one of the all-time classics. Those people like me or movie nerds who listen to Mark Kermode all the time will know about this. It's a brilliant movie. See it in the big screen the way it was meant to be. We've run out of time. I can't even mention anymore. Science Labs, went to see it last night. It's still brilliant.
All right, that is Collie on Movies. That's all we got.